Devika was a 12-year-old girl living in the small village of Saurapur. She always felt different. Perhaps because whenever she was deep in thought, a strange light spread around her. The villagers considered it mere coincidence, but her grandmother always said, "Devika, you are not ordinary. One day, you will find your true identity." One day, when she was gathering wood in the forest, suddenly the ground started shaking. Birds flew away rapidly, and a strange shadow loomed in the sky. Suddenly, near a waterfall, she saw a shining idol. It was an idol of a goddess whose eyes were sparkling in the direction of Devika. As Devika touched the idol, a golden radiance emerged from her hands, and suddenly a white-winged owl appeared before her. In a soft voice, he said, "Devika, the time has come for you to recognize your power. You are not just an ordinary girl, but an avatar, a fragment of divine power sent to protect this village." Devika's power was awakening. But at the same time, behind the distant mountains, a formidable tantric ritual was taking place. A black-clad tantric, whom people referred to as Nishad, was sitting in front of his guru. Strange movements were in the air around him with inverted triangles formed. He was attempting to awaken a great power, the demon Kaaldhwaj. But for this, a sacrifice was needed, of a girl born at midnight on the new moon of Shani. Nishad searched for such a girl in many villages, but he did not find any. Found. Desperate, he reached his guru. The guru meditated with his tantric power and slowly began to smile. There was a terrifying gleam in his eyes. He said, "The girl is in your house itself, isn't she?" The strange noise Nishad generated. "This is your test." Nishad's heart trembled because of the microphone. His wife had always hidden the truth from him, that their daughter Ashwini was born at that same rare moment. "Admin, it was automatically Whopper Koi euros, right?" Filled with anger and confusion, Nishad reached home. When he asked his wife for the truth, she trembled and, crying, said,
"I knew that one day you would find out. But can you sacrifice your own daughter?"
The father inside Nishad was struggling, but the sorcerer's lust prevailed. In the darkness of the night, he stole Ashwini and took her for sacrifice. On the night of Shani Amavasya, when Devika was trying to recognize her power. At the same time, Ashwini was sacrificed in an old temple in the distant mountains. Now inside the dark cave, the ground was shaking. A strong smell of ash and sulfur spread in the air. A gigantic demonic figure slowly emerged from the darkness. He had long nails. His eyes were burning like embers, and his breath was scorching the ground. This was Kaaldhwaj, the dreadful demon who had been defeated centuries ago, but had now been awakened again due to Nishad's sacrifice. Kaaldhwaj roared in his deep voice.
"Who is it that has awakened me again?"
Nishad bowed in fear before him. "Majesty, this tantric ritual was performed in your service." Kaaldhwaj was pleased with his devotion and said,
"You have done me a great service, Nishad. From now on, you will be my commander. But tell me, where is that girl who can imprison me again? Umit."
The man bowed his head. "Her whereabouts are being traced, Your Majesty. Very soon, she will be in our grasp." A devilish gleam appeared in Kaaldhwaj's eyes.
"All right. Until then, we need to prepare our army. This time, no one can stop me."
On the other hand, Devika was trying to understand her powers. In a secret place in the forest, a white owl was helping her practice divine powers. "Focus. Devika, the goddess's power is within you. It just needs to be awakened," said the owl. But Devika was becoming desperate.
"I can't do it. I'm just a simple girl. I'm not an incarnation of a goddess."
Owl was disappointed by this, but he knew that one day Devika would recognize her power. Suddenly, a massive shadow loomed in the sky. A giant hawk swooped towards them, cutting through the air. Before Devika could comprehend anything, The hawk grabbed the owl in its sharp beak. The owl screamed in pain. Devika, help me! Devika was taken aback. This hawk was not an ordinary bird. Blue light was coming from its eyes, and mysterious charms were engraved on its wings. He was endowed with some magical power. The owl was struggling, but the hawk began to peck at it. Now, Devika had no choice. She tried to use her powers for the first time. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and stretched out her hands. For a moment, nothing happened. But then, a golden light emerged from her palms. As soon as she pointed at the hawk, a wave of energy emerged and pushed the hawk away. The hawk shrieked in anger and swooped at Devika. Now Devika remembered everything the owl had taught her. She stomped the ground with her feet and an energy shield formed around her. Now, Devika gathered all her strength and hurled it towards the hawk. A sharp golden ray hit it, and the hawk writhed. In just a few moments, it fell to the ground and died. The owl was freed. It slowly flew over to Devika and said, "You just used your power correctly. Devika, you weren't sure, but now see, you have proven yourself." Devika was very happy. "Yes, now I am confident. I am not weak." But then she saw that the hawk's corpse was slowly becoming invisible. Devika was startled. "What? How is this possible?" The owl smiled and said, "This was just a test. This hawk was not real. It was an illusion I created. I gave you the opportunity to recognize your strength." Devika was speechless for a moment. Then confidence shone in her eyes. Now she knew that she was not an ordinary girl, but a warrior. But this was just the beginning. Kaaldhwaj had arrived, and now the real battle was before her. Devika was joyfully returning to the village with the owl. Now she had complete confidence in herself. She felt that she could protect her people, that she could accept her destiny. But as soon as she neared the village, she sensed something was wrong. There was a silence all around. The air had a strange, suffocating feel. As soon as she stepped inside the village, a terrifying laughter echoed.
So you are that girl.
Devika's blood froze. In front of her stood a tall, terrifying black demon, Kaaldhwaj. Behind him was his monstrous army, and on his right stood Nishat, smiling.
I have been waiting for you for so long, Devika.
Kaaldhwaj roared. Nishat stepped forward and said, "Your Majesty, this is the girl who could have stopped you, but her power has not fully awakened yet. This is the right time to finish her." Or Kaaldhwaj gritted his teeth. "You are absolutely right, Nishad. Let's finish it now." Kaaldhwaj was enormous, but Devika was not afraid. She was no longer the weak girl she used to be. She looked at her owl, which began to soar, roaring, "If you are truly so powerful, then come and fight me." Devika roared, and Kaaldhwaj ordered his army to attack. Enormous demons, terrifying wolves, and shadow monsters pounced on Devika, but she was no longer afraid of anyone. Devika felt her power. A golden aura started to shine around her. She raised her hands and a sharp wave of energy emerged from the ground, which blew many demons into the air. The owl, flying at lightning speed, began to attack the enemies. Devika and it were fighting together. But then Kaaldhwaj let out a loud roar. Darkness emerged from his eyes and, in an instant, surrounded Devika. Devika couldn't even move.
Now you are my captive, foolish girl.
He bound Devika with his magical chains. Now she could neither move nor speak. The villagers began to cry out of fear. Kaaldhwaj laughed and said, "Look,
Your protector is now in my captivity. Now I will burn this village."
He started attacking the villagers while breathing fire. Children and the elderly began to scream. Chaos spread everywhere. As soon as Devika saw the villagers suffering, something awoke inside her.
No.
Her eyes began to shine. Her chains broke on their own. Her voice resonated.
I will erase you from this earth, Kaaldhwaj.
Divine energy began to emanate from Devika's entire body. She was no longer just a girl. Now she was the embodiment of power itself. Kaaldhwaj attempted to attack her again, but this time he failed. Devika's power was now fully awakened. She raised one hand and golden lightning struck Kaaldhwaj. The giant demon writhed.
This cannot be. No one can kill me.
But Devika made her final strike. She completely incinerated Kaaldhwaj with the light emitted from her palms. Your end has come. With a final scream, Kaaldhwaj's existence vanished. His army dissolved into thin air. Nishad saw this and seized the opportunity to escape. The villagers began to cheer with joy. Their goddess had saved them. Devika's grandmother stepped forward and said,
This is the blessing of our lineage. In every era, a goddess is born in our family who protects her people. Now it is your turn.
Devika smiled. Now she had no hesitation in accepting her fate.
Yes, I will always protect my people.
The villagers cheered with joy, and the owl flapped its wings with pride. Devika was no longer just a girl. She was the protector of the village and a goddess.